drink only single malt whiskey.
3 extremely dangerous tasks.
Wicked.
For this reason, the ministry had seen fit to impose a new rule. To explain all this,
Technically, it's a fact.
This is going to be uncomfortable enough that way, even though this is soft.
I reckon you have to be barking, man. I'm sorry, mind your back.
They're not for Ginny. They're for you. Dress robes.
Dress robes?